What's up, my bro?
You know,
Welcome to the first episode podcast of Good, Bad, and Ugly with
I love.
Jose. I'm here with my boy Mando from the Real Estate Deli.
What's up, my brother? I'm happy to be here. Happy to join you in your inauguration.
I appreciate
Breaking
it.
you, breaking
You
you in, right?
invited me to my first podcast. I thought it was only fitting that you be my first guest on my first episode.
I appreciate that. We've been working on this on the back end for a while. Try to get you here, and here we are.
Hey, when you got good friends, good support, it's easy to keep moving forward. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. And again, some people move quicker than others, but eventually, the tide turns to your favor, and then you just make the decision, like you told me on the back end. Listen, I made the decision, and the time is now.
Exactly.
And I couldn't agree more.
So again, welcome to the podcast. So for my viewers, all 26 of them, hopefully that will grow. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in the real estate industry for over 20 years. I actually learned the real estate game from my mom. My mom was an investor. She invested abroad. She was Costa Rican. She dabbles a little bit here in the States, but she invested more in her native Costa Rica because my dad wasn't that type of guy to take risk or calculated risk. And he was just a lunch pail type of guy, 9 to 5, worked 40 years, never called out sick. That was kind of his lane. So if you deviate from that and you wanted to invest and try something new, it was going to be very challenging. So she adapted and she didn't let her dream die there, right? Because sometimes the people you surround yourself, especially your closest ones, can dampen your spirits and kill your dreams. So she didn't allow that happen. So she adapted. So she every time we used to travel when I was a kid, every summer we used to travel to Costa Rica because my father didn't like to fly as well. So she took that opportunity to be on her own. So I used to tag along, and my aunts used to set up appointments for her to visit different plots of land, coffee fields, strawberry fields, kind of land where she can build on. That was her thing. And that's kind of where I caught the bug, just through observation. So I was actually able to observe how it is to have limited beliefs, and then observe how to live out your dreams or go for it, let's say.
What kind of investing did you do in Costa Rica?
She bought land. She bought farmland, stuff like that. Strawberry fields, coffee fields. She would just sit on them and then sell them afterwards. Cultivate them. Create a business out of them for her family. My aunts and stuff. Create working opportunities, and then she used to buy land to build on. So she used to build properties and sometimes just flip them and depends, and hold them for a while as well.
So is it the investing in entrepreneurship mindset that you got from her, or were there some like processes or systems that she used that you kind of incorporate into your investing now?
It wasn't as granular. It was just I just seen her do it. She was a hustler, even at work, at her job. She used to sell colognes or bags and stuff like that on the holidays. She was always hustling something. She used to go here. I live in New York City. So in New York City, you have a certain type of mindset. So she always would sell products, perfumes, like I said, bags at her job, and she would do that consistently over years. So I saw all of that. So I caught that hustle spirit.
Awesome. I'm sitting here, I'm watching you speak, and I can't help but noticing you have your personal branding stuff on.
Yeah, I've made it a habit to stay on brand. As you grow, you take notice of the little things, and I'm big on that. I'm very artsy, in design, and I'm just that's kind of my style
Sure.
on the music and arts. So creating a brand for yourself and a story, that's kind of what I'm doing. And I just taking it seriously, honestly. So I like to stay on brand. I like to showcase what I'm doing and attach the brand to it. So anywhere you kind of see me now, I'm usually on brand.
Well, that's what you've been kind of helping me with, with your artsy side, helping me, push me to do this podcast and helping me do my social media. So for that, I'm really grateful.
No,
Um,
obviously, we're working together. We made a great connection when we first met, and we're literally been attached at the hip after, since then, right? So it's been a great relationship. You were my first Puerto Rican cowboy friend.
yeah, we'll keep that for another day, right? But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, one thing that I met about or learned about you is I thought you were younger than I was, and come to find out you're older. Now you want to call me your little bro. Like
Little bro,
I hold that badge with honor.
that's what's up.
Um, so let's just kind of get into some more stuff. So tell us about Real Estate Deli. What is Real Estate Deli? Because I mean, you have your own podcast that I like to promote on mine, so people can see what you're doing too.
Well, it's a play. I'm in New York City, so again, I think and I imagine stuff, and I just create something out of nothing, and it just came to me. It's a play on words, and Real Estate Deli. And if you look at the brand, if you look at the hat, you can see it. It's actually like a sandwich in between, right, with the top of a roof, and that's kind of how I imagined it, and then just created it. So it's a kind of a brand built out of, like I said, my New York style that I'm trying to take around the world.
And it's catching on. I've watched several of your most recent episodes, and it seems like you're highlighting women in this space. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Again, back to my background with my mom. So it's an easy thing for me to do because I experienced it. So I'm always mindful of that, especially in this sector where it's so male dominated, right? But in our community with Pace Morby, Gator, TC, top TC, top TC, sub two, owners club now. You see so many women involved, right? So many women doing great things. So, and that's kind of my style as well. I get along, I work with women well, again, because of my priors. And I just was very mindful to highlight the women in our communities because, again, they have a lot to say, right? So I'm just someone to want to highlight their experiences in the game and salute them and support them as much as possible.
It's funny that you say that. I come from a single parent household. My mom kind of was the head of household, and so I tend to gravitate to women too because I kind of get along with them better. And if you think about it, from everybody that's in the owners club and even in the sub two community, most of the ones that I see that are successful that I look for to emulate because they're being successful in their business are women. You look at Michelle Visone, Ashley Perez, Tracy Koa, even Badass Jen. All of them are really taking the industry by storm,
There's
and
a
there's so
lot of
many
them.
more. Those are just the ones that
There's
top
so
of my head.
many women. Jill, there's Birdie.
Oh
It's
yeah,
it
all of them.
goes down the line. It just trickles
I mean,
down.
Nia
Down.
Patel, she's doing great. And I got a chance to meet her in Boston that we were just at this past week. So
It's an
all of them,
incredible.
I learned something from.
Yeah,
So so my channel is called Good, Bad, and Ugly. Do you have a story that you can share? Some of the good things that have happened in your real estate investing, some of the bad stuff that some of the things that most gurus may not want to share with people that you think that people should learn from.
I think people learn through bad experiences, right? Good things don't really have a lot of lessons to learn. And my cardinal rule in investing, or if you're going to be lending, and I tell you this through experience, is if you're going to lend something out or you're going to partner with somebody for whatever reason, you're exchanging funds or you're let's say going to wire some money, whatever it is, never wire into someone's LLC, never wire into someone's personal account. You take a massive risk, uh, and there's no way to recover that money. Maybe you have to do a lawsuit or something, but there's no safety gauges there. If you wire money to escrow, your money's protected, right? There's an intermediary that's there in place to be a cushion between you and said party. But if you kind of invest into a personal LLC, that someone says, "Hey, just send the money over to my LLC or to my account," red flags right away. Turn away. And run for the hills, right? Because that's kind of not the way to do it, and that's just and I tell you that from personal experience, right? So always be mindful of those situations that can occur, and not everyone's good business. So very this business is very person to person, so you kind of have to vet each other and maybe even get some referrals, some back end referrals, like prior work you've done. Again, reputation is a big deal, so always be mindful of that.
So I know that you do lending, and the way you and I met, we both kind of share the space of co-living. Can you kind of share your experiences and how you've decided to come to that decision of investing in co-living type properties?
Yeah, I've been a bind holder for a long time. Like I said, kind of pace gave us kind of awakening of what's going on, and right, and it all kind of made sense. I also read an article that he had suggested, which was Marshall Brain. It was an AI article. It was on marshallbrain.com, which kind of tells you what's going to be happening in the world of AI, right? How it's it's starting the inception, but then when it comes, it's going to come fast, right?
Sure.
If you took notice, the longshoremen were on strike a couple of weeks ago,
Yep.
right? And they had an issue with their pay raise and artificial intelligence.
Right.
The, those are the first two touchstone items that they were worried about. And for me, that was the first time that the common man kind of experienced AI. That's the first time I heard a common guy, let's say a workforce worker, have real concerns about AI. That was for me very important. I kind of pay attention to the whispers, and for me, that was a big whisper that the longshoremen have concerns about what's going on, and that just tells you it's coming and it's here, right? So when it explodes, it's gonna be here and it's gonna take over. So kind of it's gonna affect all industries, right? But
Sure.
one industry that I feel that's kind of gonna be protected or we're protected from is housing, right? And that's why I kind of led to co-living, also because the cost of living has been so expensive, the affordability crisis. People
Especially
can't
in New
afford
York, right?
it. Yeah, people can't afford a decent place to live. People are more transient. People are not getting married like they used to and raising families, right? So all these combined to tell me, hey, this is where the trend and the where it's gonna go, right? Kind of single transient people, workforce people, 30 to 60,000 dollar range. That's kind of where the workforce population I'm thinking about, that work in super centers, mall, ballparks. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, where I'm kind of skating to where the puck is going to be, and
Sure.
just transitioning and building relationships in said markets where I can now get to work, right? So I've actually was in a call today with two people down in Dallas, which was great. So hopefully it can turn into an opportunity that we can create some opportunities for some people to be able to find some good affordable housing, you know.
Right.
So that's where we're headed to, and we'll be there soon. And we'll, like me, I'll create content around it. I'll tell the story and have engagement. So just again to put that mission out.
So Dallas is one of your markets. Do you have any other markets that you're looking to expand to?
I kind of like the Central Florida market, Orlando, Tampa, I-4 corridor. But my concerns lately has been with the natural disasters and the price of insurances. I
Oh,
have
insurance for sure.
insurance is bad. I have a property down in South Florida, which my insurance almost doubled from last year.
Wow.
So I was actually with on the phone with escrow today, kind of trying to break down granularly what were the costs and what was going on. Even though I kind of know, but I just wanted to know. Uh, so I- that's the only trepidation I have to continue investing in Florida is the cost, right? So that's why I've kind of
Auto
pivoted.
insurance mainly, right? Not necessarily the properties.
Say it again.
Mainly the insurance costs, not necessarily the
No,
properties.
it's not the properties. I kind of love Florida. A lot of everyone kind of loves Florida up here in the Northeast. It's like our sixth borough, but
Right.
it's just the cost is just kind of so expensive, and these natural disasters they just wreck they wreck your margins. So that's a super concern of mine. If there's no way to me to get around it, so I'm still hopeful, but I would probably partner with someone in some deals in Florida. But yeah, I'm just kind of now focusing more on Dallas.
Sure.
Dallas has a big co-living market. Pad Split is a platform where people use to rent their rooms,
I like
and
Airbnb.
and Dallas, I believe, is their biggest market. So it just tells me a lot is going on in that area. So for all these factors, I kind of honed down to Dallas.
Nice, nice. So we've already alluded to the fact that you and I kind of met through Owners Club. What has
Right.
Owners Club meant to you so far?
Oh man, it's been liberating, right? We joined in April, I believe, right? It was offered to us at Squad Up 2024 in Orlando, and it was something that was built up and it was presented to us, and it just became an undeniable offer because of the person it was coming from. Right,
Absolutely.
right. So
Absolutely.
it, if anyone's been around Pace or know of Pace Morby, you then know why, because you know he's gonna over deliver. So for me, it wasn't like I've been in a. I'm not in sub two. I'm in Gator and Owners Club, and I only had been in there maybe a year and not really that active as well. But I knew to go to Orlando, and again, once he made that offer, it was undeniable to me because I know I was just going to be around certain type of people as well, more filtered, more like-minded, who wanted more of themselves and wanted to have those connections with others. And the experience over the last how long it's been 5 months,
Shoot, it's been
right?
April, so let's say seven technically.
7 months has been transformative, right? I
Yeah.
would not have imagined myself 7 months ago doing all this, having a promo with merch stores and trying to get that going, connecting with people like you, being on this type of platforms that would not have existed if it wasn't kind of for Pace leading us to these directions.
Yeah, you kidding me? If you would have told me 7 months ago that I would be doing an episode of podcast, let alone try to start a whole series of podcast episodes, I'm like, man, that's not even something I'm interested in.
And that's just that's just one light portion of what's going on in our community. So much mindset, so much kind of freeing yourself from your old habits, your old ways, your old way of speaking, right?
Right.
All these things. That's why I said he's been liberating, right? And you
Sure.
kind of you're able to be more of yourself, right? And you're around others that you could be vulnerable with because they're in the same space. We're going all through the same experiences, and we're all kind of heading in one direction, right? I've called it the takeover, the real estate takeover. It's just been simmering underground, and we're just under that soil, sowing the roots, right? Getting watered down, and watering ourselves to then sprout, right? And then when it sprouts, it's gonna be an unbelievable.
Just
But
like your
yeah, the,
Instagram episode or posting this morning or this afternoon. I saw that planting the
yeah.
seeds. I got that.
So yeah,
Congratulations on
so
your first distro check.
for real. So being in Owners Club, we've partnered in two companies, a title company and a prop AI company. And we got our first disbursement from our creative title company when we just met up last week. And Pace has suggested it wasn't a large amount of money, but he said, this is what I would suggest you do, right? Either you frame it, which I have it right here, right? I have the check right here. You frame it, or like he said, he was gonna plant a tree. So I decided to plant some stuff in my front yard, and it happens to be on my IG, Money Making Mando. If you want to follow Money Making Mando, and it's there. I posted it today, so I actually planted what I wanted to plant it, and not just watering it, nurturing it, and watching it grow, right, at its own pace. and just, again, just following that growth, and you that you can relate to as yourself as well. You grow, you grow as a person, you grow as a business, right?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful journey. So yeah, the experience has been incredible. How people in the community, the culture that is being set, I felt, every time we get around, we've been around each other now 3 or 4 times. Depends if you went to community camp. That's kind of a more a family affair. So we've been around each other about 3 or 4 times, depending, and it just hones in more, right? The culture starts growing more, the traditions, because we set the cultures and the traditions ourselves, right? And pace forecast the vision and where do we want to go, right? And I just felt like when we met each other, we talked about each other, we edified ourselves more when we introduced ourselves to someone who we just met, and we just led with so much love and support, and again, it's an incredible experience. You have to be in it. You really do.
It's a different beast, right? I mean, I belong to several different mentorships. I know Pace hates to use that word,
That's
coaching
right.
or whatever,
Yeah.
but none of the other mentorships I've been in have the camaraderie, the let me lift you up, mentality. More of them are like, you're my competition, so I don't really want to help you out because then you might get up, above me or surpass me in your success. And I don't want to see you succeed before I succeed. Where in our community, it's all about how can I help you get up? Because if you get up, that means I'm getting up. And that's what I love about it. I mean, if you would have told me some of the stuff we're doing in Owners Club right now, because they didn't tell us half the stuff we're doing right now when we got into it. The pitch was what help you build your team, and the icing on the cake or cherry on top was you get part ownership in a title company, right? And then we got into it. It's like, oh, not only your ownership in a title company, but now you own the software that we're going to be partners in. Oh, and by the way, now I'm going to not only help you build your team, but now I'm going to help you learn how to use social media so that you can get streams of income from it. You're going to start doing podcasts. I want to get you on stages, stuff that I had never even thought about, developing myself into. So, um, the vision that he shares and wanting more for us is just it is crazy to me, thinking back the decision I made back in April and then where I am today. Like I said, this is a fruit of that vision, right? Deciding to just take the plunge, create a podcast. First one, I want the evolution to show. Like right now, this is kind of simple, right? I'm in my home office, got all the stuff behind me. In a year, it might be a whole studio, with a microphone like yours.
Exactly. You don't know where it's gonna go. Again, it's the evolution. It's self discovery through real estate. I call it, right.
Sure.
And again, I we were speaking. We ran into Jamil in the casino one night, and we were just talking about how incredible it's
In
been.
case y'all don't know.
Jamil, yeah, Jamil's astro flipping. He's our other mentor, and he said literally what kind of pace is trying to do is reverse roles. Like take where he's at now and reverse it, and you guys are there, 400 of you guys, right? So
Yeah.
an army of 400 and literally a role reversal, and that's exactly what he's executing. So he happens to be in exclusive masterminds, and he just brings that knowledge into us, right?
Yep.
So we're getting top notch knowledge and information that he has access to that he then shares with us and brings these people onto our stages so they can breathe life into us as well.
Right. So, what words of advice would you have for people that are trying to get into this space?
First, you made the decision you want to be here. You have to find a mentor. There's no better mentorship than Pace Morby. If you can't afford it, start just watching his videos. Jamil Damji's videos, Jerry Norton's videos. That's the first thing I would recommend. These guys are very granular and they over deliver in value and information. I would just focus on that initially if you're a newbie. Just focus on that. and try to attend live events, real estate networking events. This is a people to people business. You can't do it on your own, right? So always protect your integrity, your relationships, and always build those relationships out, right? And partner with people, right? Partner with people who have more leverage, have more information, have more knowledge, have more of a skill set, right? And just leverage them. And listen, good people are going to always willing to help, right? So definitely just follow Jamil Damji, Pace Marby, Jerry Norton. That to be honest with you, that's kind of all you need as a newbie, right? And then just hone in those skills. And if then you can afford to join one of these communities, these paid communities, then take advantage and join this paid community, because it's going to elevate you again to another level, right? And then inside these communities, you can then even partner again, continue partnering with those skills that you already been building out, to partner with people inside these communities, right? So that's kind of my wisdom I impart on a newbie.
I appreciate that. These three individuals, Jerry Norton, Jamil, Pace, they all have basically free content. They all, I believe, Jamil and Pace both have free communities. So even if you can't afford to get into their paid communities, you can always partner or reach out to the people that are in the free communities, because you don't necessarily have to be in their communities to take advantage of the knowledge and the experience of people that may have been doing this a lot longer than you. So that's the benefit for them. And you and I both been able to meet all three of them in person. Great
Yes.
people. I kid you not, if you didn't know these guys were like titans in the real estate industry, you wouldn't even know it just stand and talk to them, because they're very humble. Just want they have the hugest hearts, and just want to keep giving to people, and helping people grow and gain success. So I want to kind of circle back a little bit, because I didn't hit it on earlier when you mentioned that you said you lend, and you talked about people potentially getting scammed. Is there a word of advice that people outside of just wiring to the title company? Is there some kind of like paperwork, or is there some kind of mindset that people should have when lending or borrowing from people that are private money lenders?
Where again, it's a people to people business. You try to vet people as much as possible. Again, if you don't know much about lending or not, always kind of then partner. Again, back to the partnerships where you can then leverage someone's information. But it's kind of very simple though. Never ever wire money to places and people that just doesn't make any sense to. Always keep your money protected, and that's kind of what I do now. I do a EMD lending and double closes, and I keep money in escrow, right? So that's kind of where I'm at now, because of, again, I've been through some stuff. So I rather lead with safety than ego, right? Because ego can drive you up places where you just want to make a deal for the sake of making a deal and say, "Hey, I made a deal," but when a deal are you ready to know when a deal goes bad, right? You loan, like, you have to be mindful. If you make a loan to a deal, you then loan to own. Are you willing to take on that risk and own said property? And you were just a lender and now you took over a property. How do you handle these situations? So always be mindful of the big picture and protect your interests.
Awesome. So, the exercise we did in Boston, what do you have? What do you need for the other owners or potential investors that'll be watching this video now or in the future? What do you have to offer investors, and what do you need from other investors that may be watching this video? Or
Well,
just
I've become very proficient on the social media platform, so I can absolutely help anyone out in this space in editing, production, thumbnails, anything creative, how to set up a podcast. I got affiliate links where you can follow as well. Business credit strategies. I'm big on leveraging business credit to be able to get into deals or lend money as well. So I'm very proficient in business credit strategies as well, and bilingual. I can help them. Like I said, I'm very creative. Anything creative, I can imagine anything. You can have a brainstorming conversation, and I could create something out of thin air. Believe it. And what I'm looking for, I'm always looking for properties. I'm always looking for, like I said, wholesalers in Dallas or who are working in the Dallas market. Let's connect. Let's see if there are any opportunities. Lenders always capital. There's always need for capital. So anyone who wants to partner up as well, I'd be super interested, and we can create an opportunity. But for sure, let's connect.
Awesome. So I like to end the podcast with you, trying to promote yourself there. So can you give everybody like your YouTube channel, your Instagram, so if they need to get a hold of you or want to follow you, they can
For,
do that.
for sure. My IG page is at Money Making Mando. Again, Money Making Mando on IG. And my YouTube channel is called The Real Estate Deli. Come and follow and come and watch.
Well, thank you, Mando, for making time for me on this Friday night.
Anytime
You're
for
my
you.
bro, my brother from another mother.
For sure.
I appreciate all the support you've given me up to this point in my real estate career, even though we've only known each other for a short shoot. I think it's only been 4 months, like you said, right? Because we met in June in
Yep.
Scottsdale, and just grown from there. So I appreciate you coming on, being my first guest on my podcast, and for you and me, I'll talk to you soon. And for you guys out there, hit him up, get his Instagram, join and subscribe to his YouTube. And what you don't learn from me, you can learn from him.
For
Until
sure.
then, until next time, take it easy, fam.
Ooh, ooh.